How did ancient humans communicate before language? Imagine standing face to face with another human. You want to warn them. A predator is approaching. But there are no words, no language, no way to simply say danger. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was reality. Before language existed, humans still had to warn each other, still had to cooperate, hunt, raise children, and survive. So how did they do it? How do you build a society without a single word? The answer is more incredible than you'd expect. Modern spoken language is surprisingly young. Most scientists believe complex language only developed within the last 100,000 to 200,000 years. But humans and our ancestors have existed for over 2 million years. That means for the vast majority of human history, there were no sentences, no grammar, no stories told in words. And yet our ancestors weren't silent. They were communicating constantly, just not in the way we do today. Long before words, the body was the message. A raised hand could mean stop. A crouched position could mean danger nearby. Wide eyes and a tense posture could instantly signal fear to the entire group. Scientists studying primates today, chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, see the same thing. These animals use dozens of specific gestures to communicate complex ideas without a single word. Our ancestors almost certainly did the same. Here's something remarkable. Facial expressions for basic emotions, fear, anger, happiness, disgust, are nearly identical across every human culture on Earth. Even people from isolated tribes who have had zero contact with the outside world share the same facial expressions as someone in New York City. This suggests something powerful. Facial expression may be one of humanity's oldest and most universal forms of communication, older than any spoken language. A raised eyebrow, a curled lip, a furrowed brow. These were humanity's first alp. Before structured language, humans likely used vocal calls, similar to alarm calls used by monkeys and apes today. A sharp, high-pitched sound could mean predator. A low grunt could mean food nearby. Different tones probably carried different emergency meanings, understood instantly by the entire group. This wasn't language yet, but it was the foundation language would eventually be built on. One of the most underrated human abilities is something called joint attention. When one person points at something, humans automatically look in that direction. This sounds simple, but it's actually rare in the animal kingdom. Most animals don't follow a point at all. Scientists believe this ability to share attention, to say, "Look at that," right now, without words, was a crucial stepping stone toward complex communication. How do you teach a skill with no language? You show it. Tool making, fire starting, hunting techniques, all of this could be taught through demonstration and imitation. A child would watch an elder strike stone against stone, again and again, until they understood the rhythm and angle needed. This method of teaching, watch, copy, repeat, passed down complex survival skills for hundreds of thousands of years, long before a single instruction was ever spoken aloud. Touch was another powerful form of early communication. A hand on the shoulder could mean reassurance. Grooming, cleaning another person's hair or skin, wasn't just hygiene. Among primates today, grooming is one of the most important bonding behaviors in the entire group. It builds trust. It reduces tension. It says, without a single word, "I care about you. You are safe with me." Imagine trying to hunt a massive animal without being able to whisper a plan. Early humans had to coordinate complex group hunts using nothing but gestures, eye contact, and pre-understood signals. A raised fist might mean wait. A sweeping arm might mean circle around. Silence itself was a signal, a shared understanding that spooking the prey meant losing the meal. This level of coordination, without language, shows just how sophisticated nonverbal communication really was. Long before music had melodies or lyrics, rhythm may have played a massive role in early human bonding. Clapping, stomping, beating sticks together. Rhythmic sound synchronizes groups. It creates a feeling of unity, even without a single word being spoken. Some researchers believe shared rhythm may have helped early humans strengthen social bonds long before spoken language existed. Eventually, humans began leaving marks behind. Simple symbols, handprints pressed onto cave walls, scratched lines that may have represented counting or the phases of the moon. These weren't full writing systems yet, but they were something new, a way to communicate across time, not just across a room. A message left for someone who wasn't even there yet. Some of the most breathtaking evidence of ancient communication comes from cave paintings, some over 40,000 years old. These paintings show animals, hunts, and human figures in incredible detail. Were they religious, educational, a way to record a successful hunt for future generations? Scientists still debate the exact purpose. But one thing is clear. Long before written language, humans were already telling stories, just with paint instead of words. Archaeologists have discovered shell beads over 100,000 years old, deliberately shaped, pierced, and strung together. These weren't tools. They served no survival purpose, which means they likely carried social meaning. A necklace might have signaled which group someone belonged to, or their status within that group, or simply personal identity. This is remarkable because it suggests early humans were already using objects to communicate ideas about themselves, long before they had words to describe those ideas out loud. So why did spoken language eventually develop, if humans were already communicating so effectively? As human groups grew larger and life became more complex, gestures and vocal calls weren't enough anymore. Humans needed to communicate about things that weren't right in front of them: the past, the future, abstract ideas like danger that hadn't happened yet, or plans for tomorrow. Slowly, specific sounds began to represent specific meanings. Once language emerged, everything changed. Humans could now share complex plans instantly. They could warn each other about threats that weren't even visible yet. They could pass down detailed knowledge with incredible accuracy. Groups that could communicate more effectively could cooperate better, hunt more successfully, and survive harsher conditions. Language wasn't just a nice new ability. It became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. Here's something incredible to think about. Even today, with thousands of spoken languages on Earth, we still rely on the same ancient communication systems our ancestors used. We still point, we still nod, we still recognize fear or joy on someone's face instantly, without a single word. Body language, facial expressions, and gestures never disappeared. They're still running quietly underneath every conversation you have. Before a single word was ever spoken, humans were already connecting, warning each other, teaching each other, loving each other. Language didn't create human connection. It simply gave us a new way to express something we had already been doing for millions of years. So the next time you speak a single sentence, remember, you're using a tool that's only a tiny fraction of humanity's long, silent history of communication.